Langley High School has a reputation of excellence, and it's one that's connected with not only student performance, but the quality of the staff, the expectations of parents, and the support provided by the community. It's a school that has a balance between what goes on in the classroom and learning that occurs outside the classroom, a balance between the traditional academics and the social personal development, the balance between the traditional and the non-traditional, the balance between book learning and character building. And if you really make a composite, paint a nice picture, and you can weave all these disparate elements together, you have the total picture, which is excellence, something that everyone is proud about.
Welcome to Langley High School.
Soyez la bienvenue à Langley.
Willkommen in Langley Oberschule.
랭글리 학교에 오신 걸 환영합니다.
Bienvenidos a Langley.
Добро пожаловать в Langley.
There is a deep-rooted history and culture at Langley, bred by the Saxon name and the community surrounding the school.
Oh, go!
The representative of Saxon pride dates back many years to a Saxon warrior culture in which a representative named Otto the Great led them to many victories over Germanic tribes. You can see Otto the Great at all the football games, keeping up spirit and keeping the crowd going.
Homecoming is a big deal at our school every year. There's a week we call Spirit Week, and throughout the week there are class competitions during break and after school. Also, there's a theme for every day, and the students are, participate by dressing up according to that theme. At the end on Friday is Color Day, and every class wears a color, and we have a huge pep rally. And then the next day is the homecoming game, and that's where we display all our floats in the homecoming. And there's a homecoming parade where the princesses and the king and queen and all that are announced. It's usually a pretty good indicator of the spirit, and it usually gets the spirit going at the beginning of the year.
Schools are a reflection of the community they serve, and at Langley, it's an international one. The ethnically diverse students lend a sense of culture to the school, promoting world awareness and interest throughout the student population.
You get to see and hear a lot of different aspects from other countries or whatever, especially in language classes. If you have a native speaker in your class, it adds a lot because they give you much more common expressions you use or what it's like in their country, and it adds, I think, a deeper aspect to the classroom or even just to the school, having other people from other cultures here.
Outstanding academic achievement is another staple of Langley culture. The community expects the best from staff and students, and as a result, student performance outshines itself year after year.
Langley, I think, is a very high college-bound rate. I think last year we had 99% of our students that are attending college this year, and this year it will probably continue.
Our job then is to make as many worthwhile, productive learning activities as possible for kids. And we seem to, our staff provides exceptional learning activities for kids, and we're very proud of that.
Outstanding opportunities indeed, and unique. Langley is one of the few schools in Fairfax County Public Schools who offer sign language, and one of only 6 who offer Russian. This privileged group experienced a once-in-a-lifetime adventure last year when they exchanged visits with students in Russia. Through their travel, they were able to form some special relationships that continue to flourish.
Almost everyone participates in something, and after school is like the best time to come see what Langley's like, because during school everyone's doing their set things, but then after school people get to do whatever they choose to do, any clubs or sports or anything like that.
I think it just broadens their appreciation for school life. It's a very important part of their school day. They do take their academics very seriously between 7:30 and 2:20, but once that day is ended, they do take their sports and activities just as serious, and it is very important to them.
Learning opportunities at Langley come in all shapes and sizes, addressing the various learning styles and making instruction realistic. The rigorous academic program is delicately balanced with opportunities for individualism, character building, and a celebration of spirit. Throughout the halls of Langley, you'll find students up and moving around. They're presenting projects, leading lessons, creating masterpieces, and working together. Sit back and relax for a few minutes as we give you a peek at a typical day at this high-energy high school.
Okay, would you graph that one and see if that's really what happens with your graphics calculators?
Well, right now we're working on like equations and linear equations, and we're learning like lots of different ways to solve them.
Look at the shape, because we haven't looked at cubics yet, and we need to look at a cubic, so graph that and tell me something about that.
Y él hice muchos errores y él preguntó si él puede hacerlo otra vez para que él parezca mejor.
Empezar otra vez.
Y nosotros lo hicimos.
Is that apple pie?
That looks good.
Can we put this one in the oven?
Man, I'll eat that thing raw.
Yeah, you can put it. Or do we have to wait till the other one finishes?
What, don't you have to have the electrons sticking off?
Oh, yeah. Very good. Here's your CH3. This would be a...
This is, yeah, CH3. All right, so then we need to attach CH to it.
There. What is this? Trigonal.
And leave some white areas. Yeah. There you go. Right now we're doing value drawings. We just finished doing gesture drawings and also contour drawings. And so now we're trying to draw the figure just using light and shadow and as little lines as possible.
As you could see from that cross-section of a day at Langley High School, students stay actively engrossed in challenging and diverse assignments. It seems that whatever the task at hand, these young scholars rise to the occasion with vitality and creativity. During their 4 years of leading lessons and presenting to their peers, Langley students garner an unusual amount of grace and poise in articulating their thoughts.
And if you were following closely, what happened to the people who ate that flour, Chris?
The Langley administration responds to the needs of its student body with the implementation of the necessary initiatives. This World Studies class illustrates how double classrooms, team teaching, and interdisciplinary instruction are being executed to ensure efficient and productive learning.
Other stuff that we learned while researching the painting, we found out that he was born on March 19th, Lachua was born March 19th, 1593 in France, and he did mostly candlelight pictures, and some other of his candlelight works were The Mocking of Job, The Newborn, St. Joseph the Carpenter, and St. Joseph the Carpenter. And I noticed that all of these works had to do with religious subjects. I'm not really sure why.
Interdisciplinary instruction between social studies and language arts is mandated at all grade levels throughout the school. This World Studies class is an example of how similarities between curriculum areas can be highlighted and linked together to provide insight and functional application.
We had to tape it outside. His mom had to climb out the window because we couldn't get the whole shot from the inside. We still couldn't get it from the outside, but that's why there's noises in the background.
It helps to study both at the same time because it English and history link together throughout history very well during the time periods and gives you an overall background of everything.
See what they came up with. Successfully linking curriculum areas takes a great deal of planning time. Teachers meet daily to coordinate activities and ensure consistencies between subjects.
And then a variety of multiple choice questions here that were pretty objective. A small art history section, and then moving on into early river valleys after we had finished Neolithic Revolution.
This type of coordination between grades, departments, and teams is prevalent school-wide. The administration works under a philosophy of collaboration. Decisions to revise and refine the curriculum are made only after gathering and analyzing input from students, staff, and parents.
One of the things that really makes an organization run is dialogue. People talking with each other about change, making a good thing better, and that's what Langley is about. Consensus building is very important to us. It's stressed throughout our building.
This type of dialogue is stressed outside of the building as well.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We'll see you. And this is held in the cafeteria. Okay, thank you. Bye now.
These parents are setting up appointments for teacher meetings during open house, an event held twice a year to facilitate one-on-one communication between faculty and family.
Okay.
Such an event is symbolic of the significant emphasis placed on the connection between school and home.
And some people call it character education. There's a whole bunch of terms that get laid on with it. But it's basically the whole business about looking at everyday issues.
Dr. Arangio frequently provides a more casual forum for discussion through his principal's coffees.
Unfortunately, it comes at the 12th grade. It needs to come at the 11th grade and the 10th grade.
Hello, Mrs. Schultz. This is Susan Martin calling from Langley High School. I'm Billy's World Studies teacher. How are you?
Another outstanding effort to keep communication flowing is the Teacher Outreach Program.
I'd like to say, of course, that Billy has just had a fantastic first quarter and really seems to be quite capable of performing everything we're asking him to do in World Studies. Do you have any questions or concerns about the class?
In this very personal manner, teachers contact the families of each and every one of their students once a semester.
So we feel it's important to communicate with parents about how kids are doing in school, their academic performance, their adjustment to school. Both are very important. They're vital links in kids feeling good about being in school and becoming their best.
Basically this year what we've been doing is we started learning about descriptive geometry and learning how to draw and create plans and designs. And this year what we're going to be talking about is learning how to design bridges to hold weight.
We were given an assignment. We had to make a bridge out of balsa wood, which is this wood, very thin wood. We were given a certain amount of wood, 36 feet, to make a bridge that spanned a 12-inch gap. What we did some research to decide what type of structure we wanted to use first, and then drew up a blueprint of that structure, which I have here.
Die Frau sagt, fass den Arm von den Nachbarn an. Gut, ja. Ich mache das auch. Ich mache das auch. Ja, super. Okay, bravo. Setzt euch. Setzt euch. Beschreiben wir unser Traumauto. Wie ist dein Traumauto? Thomas, wie ist dein Traumauto?
Sehr schnell.
Sehr schnell, okay?
Aiding and abetting.
Well, we were basically role-playing for definitions of law, since this is a business law class. And it helps out role-playing because you're able to distinguishing between certain definitions that are close together, such as manslaughter and first-degree murder, and the differences between those.
Yeah, you could have been speeding.
It's using the second derivative this time instead of the first. Now let's move on to the next. Let's use, say, 2. The other point that I'm going to make is about the point of inflection. And that is the point at which the tangent line of the first derivative of a function changes concavity.
Okay, all right, SGA, there's a PTSA meeting this evening at 7:30 in Hersler Hall. Everyone be ready for that. There's the pep rallies on.
Character and leadership are a big part of school life at Langley. These qualities round out the academics and give students a means of converting knowledge into action. Student government is an avenue of choice for some students in pursuit of these attributes.
We're going to have Dr. Arangio speak. This is kind of going on a limb, but hopefully we can get the communication started between the school and other members.
This is leadership class. the training ground for SGA leaders. In this student-facilitated course, members plan events and carry out their responsibilities, the chief one of which is the dissemination of information.
I also want to congratulate field hockey and tennis. Tennis was runner-ups.
You want to put up there they beat them 1-0 in overtime?
The main goal of the SJA, I would say, would be communication. Because everyone needs to know what's going on between the students, between teachers, administration, so no one is left out not knowing why things are happening.
While some students cultivate leadership abilities,
Should be pretty good.
others develop relationship skills.
Good. Now what? Now you pick up one of these, put it over there. Good.
The peer helping class was developed in the county a number of years ago. It exists in most schools. Kids can sign up for this. It's a 1-credit course. It usually appeals to youngsters in the 11th and 12th grade who find that they are good friends to a lot of people. They find that they are listeners and or they have been through life experiences themselves that make them particularly sensitive to the needs of other students.
Okay, can you put the A words? Excellent, wonderful.
They have this year taken a very great interest in our new class for kids with autism, and they, on a rotating basis, assist with those kids over the lunch period time in the middle of the day. This frees up the regular teacher, and it gives these kids some really good experience, and a number of them have now decided they want to go into education and special education, and they've been absolutely wonderful with students who have a really tremendous challenge in getting through school.
Today we're taste testing various types of ultra premium ice creams. In our marketing class, we're trying to figure out if paying $2 or $3 more for products such as Ben & Jerry's and Haagen-Dazs is really worth it, or if you can just buy like the house brands like the 7-Eleven or something.
I really like the Crunch Vanilla. I think that this class has really been helpful. Like, definitely the letter, the resume and the resignation letter have been really helpful. And then also, like, I've noticed that I'm already using like stuff that I'm learning when I hear things on the radio or whatever, like commercials or whatever. I think about this class and I've used what I've learned.
Ce sont de grains magiques.
Mais Jacques, c'est où la bouche?
Je l'ai vendu pour ce grain.
Oh Jacques, je vais t'attraper, mais d'abord donne-les-moi.
This is a special kind of film called infrared, so it comes out really white, the green.
We're trying to figure out how to determine the distance of rolling a ball on a half trajectory. And so we decided to measure a meter back and using fundamentals of physics, we roll the ball and we can calculate where the ball will land. Okay, demonstration.
Every time, like once.
The role of the active Langley community is a fundamental element of Saxon culture. Parents' high expectations for student achievement inspire students and staff to reach for the top. And the school gleans material rewards through the countless hours families spend helping school operations run smoothly.
Do you have teams with you as well? Yes. They're in the little green boxes.
Our parents are knowledgeable, they're supportive, they're involved. And this takes many kinds of forms.
The PTSA is really active. They do a lot trying to get it views from students, faculty, parents. They have the Booster Club, which sponsors a lot of activities.
They have very basic methods for water quality analysis that we could provide even if the school doesn't have them.
As jobs become more specialized and at the same time education becomes more expensive, the growing trend is for corporations to merge with schools in mutually beneficial partnerships. Langley's partner in education is the PRC Corporation, based in McLean. One of the benefits that comes from this relationship is PRC's knowledge of what skills are needed in the workplace. Langley takes the information they receive from PRC and translates it into classroom assignments that will foster skills pertinent to the workplace.
There's also, we have available an instrument that will measure pH and download all your data and give you a data set straight into a calculator, which Randy and Mark know about, and we have both the probes and the instruments at school.
One such undertaking was the preparation of proposals. The project required students to collect, analyze, and present data regarding environmental management issues.
Ironically, that skills project won the first Regional Governors Partnership in Education Award in the state of Virginia, and we were fortunate to be co-partners with PRC in that effort.
Finally, my group of four agreed on talking about trying to compare the SAT scores, math and verbal, with male and female, seeing who has the higher in which area.
We've expanded our models to go to math modeling as part of the skills project. And so we have two working at the same time now in Langley. We're very proud of our connection with PRC.
I just typed up the labels for the mentioned gift form requests.
Okay. Michelle Lee has attained a personal benefit from the partnership. Interning with PRC this semester is giving her first look inside the corporate world.
So we have to send 15 tickets to them, I guess.
Okay. Okay, well, we have to figure that out, because remember, it's for every $5 they get
3.
Whatever? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've been here for about a month now, and what I do is I fill out requests or I type up labels for news of interest, and basically I just do errands that Nanette gives me, and I answer calls. I think it's a good experience because I want to go into accounting, so working in an office will get me familiar with the atmosphere and working with other people.
I just want to know if they classify animals differently than how I classified the animals. So I was like, how did they class them today?
Since we've beamed Aristotle to present time, he's curious to know if his philosophy still stands true, or have we learned more?
Right now I am Aristotle, and we were trying to figure out what my major contribution in science was. And my major contribution in science was classifying. I was the first person to classify animals, first person to dissect animals, first person to show and understand systematic taxonomy, and I was also the first person to explain the 4 means of reproduction. So that's a real contribution that came to me. Because I don't think if I didn't find all that classification, this world would be really.
Es alto. Sí, es alto. Muy feo.
The display here is done by Art 3. Basically, all it is just portraiture, and it was the first assignment to get us into the mood of portraiture, and then we're going to do the self-portraits where they actually take pictures of us in whatever style that we want.
Todos deben pasarlo con tanta felicidad que puedan.
La felicidad. Y para ti, ¿cuál es la felicidad? ¿Cómo pasas la felicidad? ¿Qué es para ti?
Marietta in Ohio, because I have crew, varsity crew, and really good sports medicine.
Where do you want to go the most?
Either Marianne or Virginia Tech. I can't decide because Tech I can work with the football season or football team for 4 years. So that was really cool.
There's an Aaron there.
Right now, I'm looking at a lot of schools down south, like University of Miami. We're just looking at that, and so a couple schools in Texas, SMU and Rice, and a couple in North Carolina, Davidson and Duke. So I don't know.
Langley's college enrollment rate is among the highest in Fairfax County. As a result, a large part of the work for the well-coordinated guidance department is test scheduling and school selection counseling.
The guidance department at Langley High School is broken down with each counselor having an alphabetical slice. We all have 4 different grade levels. We're all located within close proximity of each other so we can have the conversation back and forth and coordinate things for the students. For example, here we have Mr. Slivka working with students from his school team, and they're planning a retreat for a non-drug oriented activity. Over here, we've got some conversation going on about scholarships and applications to Governor's School, and that's Mrs. Von Sals. And here, Mrs. Bellamy is right now working on the college partnership program with some minority students, and it's to help improve their chances of getting accepted to a college. Over here we have Mrs. Leary, who is working on coordinating the testing program for us. She deals with the AP exams and also partially with the SAT program. Keeps her busy quite often. We also rank 77th in the state as far as the number of AP exams that are given each year. And over here we have some conversation about the college application process. 95% of our students go off to college each year, and it takes a lot of our time, and we try to treat each student individually and give them the best we can.
I think Langley has prepared me for college very sufficiently and very strongly through the different, of course, the courses, and then through the Career Center with the help and the guidance of Mrs. Whalen.
These proudly displayed graphs illustrate the growing success in virtually every area of school life. Grades, attendance, SAT scores, and more are rising at an impressive rate. The deep-rooted Saxon culture is the force that drives Langley's high-energy program, creating spirit, enthusiasm, and a desire to achieve.
In summary, I would just say that Langley is a microcosm of an international community. Schools do reflect the communities they serve, and ours is an international community. And Langley is a tapestry or mosaic of representative of students from all around the world, representing a diversity in cultures. And yet they come together every day to learn and to live together in harmony.
Thanks for watching.
Merci de nous avoir regardés.
Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. 多謝你看。